Our next VirtualPreneur Summit speaker is the CEO of Bold Social Strategies, Michelle Virog. Michelle started her business over 3 years ago because of a kidney disease that she is required to do dialysis regularly. Always kept getting laid off from previous jobs due to appointments and treatments that Michelle finally decided to take control of for future and success. Michelle is extremely passionate about helping others find their true purpose and build a community and following around sharing their story and their why. Virtualpreneurs, our next speaker is Michelle Virog.
Thank you very much, Ruben, for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here at the VirtualPreneur Summit. And thank you for having me as a guest speaker. So what I do is my focus right now is personal branding on social media. So I help business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs. I help them build their personal brand through content, building their audience, getting more engagement on their content, really building more credibility and authority around their brand and around who they are as a person. I believe that everyone has a voice, everyone has a story, and it's important for them to share that voice and share that story. And because that's how you're really going to get your offers known, get your business known, especially in today's world with COVID-19 for sure, and having to rely so much on digital marketing and digital media as a way to talk about your offers and a way to get more eyes on your offers as well. So the motivation for me in helping others build their brand and their credibility is because when I first started my business, I first just started doing social media management for clients, and I would meet with people. I did a lot of networking, and I would meet people one-on-one, and I'd always get them to share their story on why they started their business and what motivated them to start their business. And because I think that that's an incredibly powerful story that I think we sometimes forget to talk about, or we might talk about it once or put something on our about page on our website, but then we forget to talk about it more frequently. And the thing is that not everyone looks at that about page on the website, and only a handful of your audience sees your social media at any given time. So it's always important to talk about that why in many different ways and to keep sharing that story, because that's really going to connect you to your audience, and that's really going to build that trust factor as well. And for me, I have a powerful why story myself. I started my business because I have kidney disease and I have to do dialysis treatments. So that was a big factor in the reason why I started my business. And so I share that as often as I can, because I think it's important for people to know that anyone can start a business, and it doesn't matter like if you have an illness, if you have a disability, if you do have these hurdles or these speed bumps um, that you think might get in your way, that you can still do it and you can still have a successful business, even if you do have those in your way. But I just want to inspire people. I want to inspire people that they can push through, and that and just to motivate them to keep going, because it's important that no matter what, you just keep pushing through and there's always a way to overcome failure or hardships. There's always a way to get through it and just persevere through all that. How's my business affected by COVID-19 outbreak, and how are we coping with it? Well, Honestly, I've actually probably been more busier since COVID-19 happened. I feel like that there are just a whole bunch of business owners and people kind of coming out of the woodwork and saying, like, shit, I need to get on social media, or shit, I need to get my business on online. And now I think a lot of people are kind of scrambling to do that if that wasn't their focus before, just because now they're realizing, okay, I can't go into the store, I can't go into my office anymore. We now have to figure out that strategy. So I've definitely had a lot of people coming to me, asking to work with me, asking me what my advice is, asking me their opinion on how they can launch their brand on social media, how they can get more eyes on their content, what type of content they need to be posting. So I think that that's been helpful for me. Not saying that this whole situation is a good thing, but I'm just here. I just want to help more business owners in any way that I can, just helping them get through this time. And whether that's helping entrepreneurs or local businesses, um, I've been working on collaborations with other businesses as well to just help others, provide that insight and that advice so that their business survives as well. So I think both me and my team are coping pretty good. We've had a pretty steady influx of customers and leads and inquiries. So I think that's one positive thing about the digital media space. The only kind of, I was using a co-working space, which was really nice to kind of get out of the house, and where I was networking with other business owners, and it was a really nice spot to go to just have that focus. So the fact that I can't go there anymore, is kind of tough, but luckily that co-working space is doing a lot of work online, so we're still able to kind of have that networking type feel and that collaborative co-working type experience, even if we are still at home. So that's been a positive. In my own insights and outlook, how is COVID-19 changing the way we are doing business? Definitely a few ways. People are definitely have to make that shift to get online if their business isn't online. And whether that's having like redoing their website or creating a website, or whether whether that's getting on social media, whether that's building a personal brand on social media or just their business brand on social media. It's changing the way that business owners are thinking of offering their services. They've realized, I mean, many brick and mortar stores have had to pivot what they're doing, or how they are offering their product to their customers, whether they're offering delivery service so that they can still deliver product to their customers, or whether that's just making different products. I know a couple local beer breweries here have created some hand sanitizers. So they're like the health approved grade hand sanitizer, but because they have all that product that they would normally make to make like their beer, their alcohol, they're using that now to fulfill orders for hand sanitizer because it's such a need right now. So I definitely think a lot of companies have had to pivot in the way that they're offering their services. They're trying to get online and making sure their services are offered online. So I think that's definitely a huge factor in getting through this and having your business and anyone's business survive through this time is to making sure that you are providing things that people actually need right now. And also that you are in a place where people can access you, like the internet. And as a business consultant and mentor, what are the actionable strategies and tips you can share to business for them to survive this crisis and strive? Definitely. Well, I mean, for me, since I do focus on personal branding on social media, I think that that's definitely a huge, huge opportunity to get started. There's so many different opportunities and networks available for you to create valuable content for your audience and to get your message out there. Whether you're wanting to connect with business owners on LinkedIn, or you have a ton of product images, or you're taking a lot of images and you want to go on Instagram or Pinterest, or build a community and build a Facebook group on Facebook. I mean, you can build a whole entire community around your business and what you do. You can also build it around your product. You can do live streaming videos on Instagram and Facebook, and some people can do it on LinkedIn. You can do watch parties as well on Instagram and Facebook. You can post videos on YouTube. There's just such a wide variety of opportunity on social networking platforms, but at the same time, it can be easily overwhelming on knowing where to start. So you first really just have to identify exactly where your target customer is hanging out, and wherever they're hanging out, that's the platform that you want to be on. So if you're really wanting to connect with a lot of CEOs and executives, then you really want to be focusing on LinkedIn, and you'll want to be engaging on content. You'll want to be posting your own content, liking other people's posts, just making sure that you're getting in as much involved as possible. All of your accounts, no matter which platforms you're on, you want to make sure you always have a call to action set up. You're always guiding people back to the place that you want them to go, whether that's your website, whether that's a Facebook group, whether that's an online calendar to book a call with you, whether that's your sales funnel. Just making sure you always have those links posted everywhere, and that's on your personal profile, it's on your business page, that's on your story highlights and Instagram, that's on your story highlights on Facebook. Just making sure that you're guiding your customers along that path so that they can stay connected with you and they know how to take that next step to work with you. Always providing free advice and free value to your audience is hugely effective, because that's how they know what they can get from you and what they can learn from you as well. So I hope that helps a lot of people, and I hope you can take some action on that, or there's some tips that you hadn't thought of doing before. So I hope that that's really helpful. Oh, and also making sure when you do post content, you're posting a variety of content. So some people like sitting down and watching like a long video and they'll absorb everything. Some people just want to sit down for a few minutes and read a really short, quick post. Or some people like reading long form story posts. So, or really short, quick video. So you want to make sure that you are giving your audience a variety of information, because everyone learns in a different way. And if you can provide a variety of of types of content and forms of content. It's going to engage your audience even more, and it's going to draw them in for them to want to learn more from you as well. And you'll be able to get a wider network of people because you're appealing to those different learning points as well. Other business owners are on their downtime. As a business coach, what will be your suggestion to them on how they can maximize their time? Okay, so for this, and this sometimes you have to be careful because social media can be a time suck. I'm sure we've all been in, we've all had it happen where we find ourselves on Instagram or Facebook, and our thumb just keeps going because we just keep like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we lose an hour, hour and a half, and the time just flies by. So there's definitely a few ways that you can handle that. And for example, one way is there are some different Chrome apps that you can use for your desktop computer that filters out your news feed on Facebook. And there's also ones where you can schedule different time slots to make sure, and timers to make sure, okay, if you're going to be on social media, then you're only on there for 20 minutes and then you move on to your next task. So those are a couple of things to do to definitely maximize your time and to make sure you don't get sucked into that social media vortex, the newsfeed vortex, I call it. And another thing you can do that I practice a lot myself is writing your content off of social media. It helps you to focus because you're focused on just writing your own content. And it also helps you focus because you're not wrapped up in what everyone else is saying and getting kind of that shiny object syndrome on what other people are talking about, but you're really focusing on what your message is and what you're wanting to share with your audience. So whether that's starting just an Excel document with content, or I like to use a tool called Airtable because it has different views. You can view in calendar or Kanban or spreadsheet style, or they have a few other ways too. But I just like, oh, excuse me. I like using that one myself because they just have multiple different views, and there's so many different ways you can use that tool. And for some of my longer form content, I just write it out in a Google document, because then I also have a copy of the content as well that I can refer back to as evergreen content and either reuse or rewrite, things like that. So I generally try to keep a library of most of my the pieces that get more engagement. So yeah, so I would definitely say doing during your downtime, for sure, writing your content to maximize time, and then also making sure you're just using social media wisely and you're just not getting sucked into it hour upon hour, but that you're using that time productively. You go in with a purpose, whether that's to engage on a few posts, because make sure, remember, engagement is definitely very important. Otherwise, people won't want to engage in your stuff. But making sure you go in with a purpose and an intent and a timer, you'll time yourself so that you can get what you need to get done, and then you get off and you can move on to your next tasks. Now, how can you make your book and business the center of attention this COVID-19 season? I think that is a lot of where personal branding comes in. being able to build a strong personal brand will help you build and grow that audience, and it helps you to focus on your offers as well. So if that's a book, if that's a new offer that you have, and being able to teach people different lessons from either your book or share stories from your book or from your business is is just a huge way of growing that audience, growing your own platform, making sure that you have visuals everywhere that people go to see. Again, these can be cover images on Facebook, cover images on LinkedIn, story highlights on Instagram, story highlights on Facebook, cover images on Facebook business pages, cover images on Facebook groups, having a Facebook group and building a community. When you build a community on when you build a community through a Facebook group, think of it that you are actually, it's a group of people that are interested in your topic because they want to join your group specifically because of the topic that you are talking about. So that's a whole entire community of target customers, target clients, people that want what you're offering, people that want the knowledge that you have, and people that want to learn from you. So this is an incredibly great way to build a network and a community around your offers, around your book, because that's exactly why people are there for. And then once you start building up the engagement and building up the community inside your group, that's when you can start making your offers and selling to them. And that's when you start getting a raving client base of fans and followers and customers. So yeah, definitely focus on building a brand on social media. I think is a huge way that people can make their book or their business the center of attention during this pandemic. And so just in final words, I just hope that some of this advice was valuable to you guys and that you learned something that you can implement in your business. I wish you all the best during this crazy time, and just make sure to continuously talk about what your knowledge is. You're continuously telling people about what you offer. You're just always putting content out there, and you're just telling your story all the time, because that is definitely going to help you build an awesome brand on social media. And I hope this helped you guys, and just stay safe and stay healthy out there.